Make sure you watch until the end to see how you can win free gear and products. Hey, this is PJ with CLK Supplies, and I want to give you 2 reasons why your key is stuck in the lock. Now, I am taking for granted that you are putting the right key in the right lock, and a key wasn't made to fit in it that should have no business being in there. That key stuck for an entirely different reason for an entirely different video. The first example is on a key and knob cylinder, commonly found on all sorts of commercial knobs, levers, and deadbolts. Now, as what happens is that screw cap on the back at first may seem that everything's fine. However, there's a fine line between having it work and having it not work. And as a lock is continually worn, that screw cap is going to move as a whole a little bit. When that happens, when you go to try to pull the key out, it's not going to go because the plug is actually moving out a little bit on the cylinder and it's not allowing all those bottom pins to come up. All you need to do to fix it is to hold your fingers and push back on the plug while you pull the key out. Once you do that, you can take the cylinder out, you can flip it around, and all you need to do is push in the little detent and tighten that screw cap a little bit. The other example I want to give you is the most popular one I've personally encountered, and that's on aluminum storefront hardware. They have mortise cylinders on them. Now, on the back of these mortise cylinders, there's 2 screws and a tailpiece. All right, now when you operate a mortise cylinder in one of these doors, the tailpiece is actually what's moving the latch mechanism back and forth. That puts a lot of pressure on that little tiny tailpiece held on by those 2 screws. And over time, a mortise cylinder that's worked perfectly fine, all of a sudden the key gets stuck and you can't get it pulled out. Well, most of the time it's just going to be because the 2 screws that hold the tailpiece on are a little loose, not allowing the key to actually come out. To get the key out, all you really need to do is hold the front of the plug with one of your fingers or both of your fingers and then just pull the key out. Once you have the key out, you'll want to get the mortise cylinder out of the door and you're going to want to tighten up those back 2 screws that hold the tailpiece on. It's really a good idea to even put a little Loctite in there to keep them nice and snug. Reason number 2 why your key is stuck in the lock. Now, this is a reason that's going to happen when you're in the middle of a rekeying project. Now, let's face it, our customers sometimes ask us to do some kind of weird things that, when we start looking at it, we're like, I don't know. I mean, we want to keep you happy. We want to get the job done, but I don't really know if this is going to work. Okay, and that is when a key's stuck in the lock in the middle of a rekeying project, most likely your MACS is out of factory specs. Now, MACS stands for Max Adjacent Cut Specification, and if you want to know what those guidelines are, go ahead in the notes below. I have a PDF document you can download and you can see all of them for all of the popular manufacturers. Now, MACS is pretty much a fancy term for saying that the cuts between the spacing is too extreme and it doesn't leave enough travel and enough meat on the key in order for it to work properly, okay? So when you have like on a Schlage, the MACS is 7, and if you have like a number 1 depth next to a number 9 depth, the distance between the 2, the traveling inside the cylinder for the top pin, the spring, and the bottom pin to come up and down is going to be too great, and it's not going to allow the key to come out. It's going to make it stuck, okay? It's the same thing that can happen also with those cuts, is it doesn't leave enough meat on the key in order for the cut to actually be there as well. So it's kind of a 2-sided problem. You want to avoid it. And like I said, make sure you're familiar with it and you don't break that rule. It'll cause you problems. But if you find yourself in that situation, you're gonna have to just take like the cap off the top of the lock, or you're gonna have to shim it, do something to get that plug out to fix the problem. Now, another little side, little bonus reason in this area is that if you don't check for top pins or master pins, okay? If you have too long of top pins or you have extra master pins in there, that can also cause you problems and not allow that key to come out. Make sure you're using your master pinning follower to get those master pins out. And if you're still running into problems, you want to check the size of the top pin that you're using. All right, and that is the 2 main reasons why your key is stuck in the lock. Now, I know there's more reasons out there, and I'd love for you to share them with us, what those reasons are. Please, in the comments below, tell us, what did I miss? What did I leave out? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Since you just watched this video, I'm guessing that you work with locks and keys. And to us at CLK Supplies, that makes you a lock boss. And we want to hook you up. Here's how it works. Throughout the week, join the conversation and comment on our posts and videos and include the hashtag Lockboss. It's free to enter this giveaway. And every Tuesday, we're gonna pick 5 winners from the previous week and hook you up with all sorts of prizes, including gear, tools, supplies. We might even send you a key machine or buy you lunch. So if you're a lock boss, join us every week to learn, grow, and win.